'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night. This summer night.
Good morning. So, as you can hear, still slightly snuffly, not feeling 100%, still feeling on the mend, but I didn't sleep very well last night, unfortunately. I've maybe only had about 4.5 hours. So, extremely tired, and I've got a full day at SeaWorld, whether I want to or not, because I've got the shuttle booked, and I've got experiences and things booked there, so I will be there all day. I'm getting picked up from my hotel by the Mears shuttle at 9. It's about 8:05 now, so I'm just going to finish getting ready and then head out and wait in the lobby. It is a shared shuttle, so I'll probably have a few stops before then. I don't know how long it'll take me to get to SeaWorld, but obviously I'll find out and let you know. Because it's always useful. It was relatively cheap. I think it was something like $26 each way. I think it was like $13.50 each way, making it somewhere around $26 for a round trip to SeaWorld, which isn't too bad considering it'd probably cost me that one way with Uber or Lyft at this time in the morning particularly. My shuttle back is booked for 8:10. Obviously I originally booked this before I was feeling quite so bad. Thought I'd probably want a full day in SeaWorld. Kind of regretting that a bit now, but we'll see how I go. I'm going to take it really slowly, like I have got all day. I've got the up close penguin tour at 11 o'clock, so I'll have that to do, and then it'll give me plenty of time to just slowly go around, hopefully do the shows and any rides I want to do. And I do have their version of like the express pass thing to hopefully get on the rides quicker, so it does leave me with plenty of time to just sort of rest and just slowly wander around the park as I want. So I'll see you at SeaWorld. So I've made it to SeaWorld. I'll talk about the shuttle at the end of the trip and let you know how that worked. Alright, yeah. So I've already checked in for my penguin encounter, that's at 11:30, and I've just done Mako. You can't really see the bulk of it, you can see it kind of comes up here. It doesn't have any loops, but it's very intense. It's very up and down, so you get a lot of air time in your seat. It's 10:30 now, so I'm not going to go too far from the penguin encounter and see what I can get done. It's a tiny baby shark.
program for our penguins. Every year they go through mating season, and we have a couple of chicks that come out of that. So penguins, they have pretty similar growth cycles for all of their chicks. The big gaps come between our great penguins, so kings and emperors, and our smaller penguins, pretty much everybody else. Now we don't have emperor penguins here. The largest we have are king penguins, and that's because emperors required even colder than that room we were just in. So they do live over in SeaWorld San Diego, but they have a lovely thick wall of glass between the guests and their 26 to 28 degree Fahrenheit habitat, which is just fine by me. So our great penguins, what they do is they carry their eggs on their feet. They have a lovely pouch that goes right over that egg to keep it nice and warm. Everybody else builds nests. Some of them dig burrowy ones, kind of underground. But all of our species, they build little nests out of pebbles. So every year for mating season, we bring in lots and lots of little rocks for them to choose from. Now, either on their feet or in those nests, they're going to lay an egg. They are birds. They lay eggs. And out of that egg will come a little naked baby penguin. Very quickly, they'll grow in a set of fluffy down feathers. Now, down is that same stuff that goes into your jacket or your pillow. It's nice, it's fluffy, it's warm, it's not waterproof. If you put that pillow in the pool, it's going to sink like a rock. The same does go for our penguins. So at that point, they are not waterproof. Now, out in the wild, penguin nests are going to be several miles away from the water, but here we're space limited, so they're a little bit closer. So we do have to keep an extra eye on them when they're small to make sure they don't, fall in the pool a little bit before they're ready. All right. So baby penguins grow pretty quick, but where do they come from? We have examples of eggs for down here are all 6 species of penguin that live here at the park. So you can see the smaller 5, they're pretty similar, but the king penguin sticks out. And then on top, that is an example of an emperor penguin egg, just to give you an idea of the relative size between our smaller ones and of course those largest emperor penguins. For context, emperors can be up to 5 feet tall. I'm 5'3". So it's pretty incredible. And then our kings, they're going to be a little shorter, around the 4-foot range. Now once an egg is laid, depending on where it comes from, about 10 days into when it's laid, our aviculturists are going to pull it and give it a little eggy physical. The most important part of that is candling the egg, holding it up to a very bright light to see what's inside. Now if it looks like this, there's nothing in it. That's what your egg from the grocery store should look like. So that is a non-fertilized egg. There's not a little penguin growing inside, but if it looks like this one on the right, something growing inside, that is a fertile penguin egg. Now at that point, our aviculturists have a choice to make. If it is a healthy egg with a great set of penguin parents, they can leave that egg with those parents and let it hatch normally. If it's a healthy egg with a not so great set of penguin parents, which it does happen, not all of our parents are good, not all penguins are good. So if they're parents that have a record of treating their egg like a soccer ball or just walking away from it, we can actually hand it off to another set of parents, or foster parents, which is very, very cool. Those other penguins will take that chick in and raise it as their own. So one very neat thing is, since all of those smaller species are right around the same size, that means we can foster those babies to different species of penguin as well, and they typically take to those very well. So obviously we can't have a rock hopper taking care of a king penguin, but they could potentially take care of something like a chinstrap. Now one more step, if that is not a healthy egg, if there's something wrong with their genetics, or perhaps mom and dad are a little too closely related, which does occasionally happen, at that point our aviculturists have the choice of disposing of that egg, since it will not produce a healthy chick. We don't want to bring an unhealthy chick into our penguin population. So when those eggs are pulled, our penguins are given something called a dummy egg. Now throughout the nesting seasons, penguins have a very strong instinct that they have to be sitting on an egg, So in order to keep them from being stressed out, if maybe they are not a good option for their egg, we give them either a wood or a ceramic egg. It's the same size, shape, weight, and usually the same color as an egg. The penguins don't know the difference. So throughout that season, they'll sit on it, take care of it as they would take care of a normal egg. At the end of the season, they say, all right, didn't work out this year, we're going to try again next year. So those dummy eggs are there to keep our penguins content and all right through that nesting season, so they don't feel any kind of stress or biological pressure to perhaps produce another egg or just stress themselves out. Any questions about that?
Do you also give a dummy egg to penguins who just haven't produced an egg?
I'm sure we could. I don't know if that happens very regularly, but I'm sure it is possible. Yep, and there are some penguins we have that don't produce an egg and go out and find something that looks like one. Whether they sit on a rock or a ball of snow or something like that. If they want one to go find, they can go find one. And in that case, I guess we could give them some sort of dummy egg, yeah.
Alright, so like I said, this is 7. I know, hello 7. Now 7 likes to do this behavior called preening. They get very distracted by anything that dangles, anything shiny, leg hair, all that fun stuff. 7 really likes this door sometimes because it does shine with the light. Kelly, do you need to get through? Alright, I'm gonna get 7 out of the way so that my coworker can go up there too. I was like, 7, yes! Oh, big old baby. I was like, but yeah, you guys can pet 7. 7's super soft. If it makes you uncomfortable, let me know, but 7 is just very curious about everything. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, super soft. Oh. If they chirp at you, that just means they're super excited. Also, they're not very good at posing, so on most of your pictures, it'll probably look like a brown blob, but you guys will know that it's a penguin. 7. Yeah, we got a lot around here.
You are gorgeous. Yeah, you are. Yeah. Such a beautiful penguin.
They're checking us out. They're not sure of us, but they're checking us out. And then it's like, snow, so if you don't touch. Yeah, no, okay. Just because some of them just want to come up because they're like really frisky and they're like, ooh, let me see if I can like bite their shoes or something. Like Tuffy, she just really likes to be around the king penguins for some reason, so she'll hang around them all the time.
You are just gorgeous.
Yeah, a lot of them like.
Apparently she's trying to preen me.
So like these two right here, they're older couples. This is actually their father. She does a lot of the protecting of the nest because he can't see too well. He's pretty old. So she does all the protecting.
No, not the camera strap.
See those really long feathers.
Oh, my lanyard. Yeah, go for my arm, that's fine.
So she was very tiny compared to No, you can't go in the hallway. That's too warm for you. I know.
Definitely don't want to go.
Just giant babies through it. Yeah, you got it. All right, good job, baby. Yeah, you got it.
So just come out of the tour, they release you into Pacific Point, which is where the sea lions are. See, we've got 2 sea lion pups. There's one just behind that ledge there. And one just there. They're apparently 4 weeks old. Just got some food in the inside grill, but there is a family of ducks currently in here as well.
Let's dive in and take a closer look at what makes dolphins so cool. Nature has provided them with some amazing adaptations that allow them to navigate, forage, and play. Like the blowhole right here on top of their head. That is where they breathe from, of course, but it's also where they communicate to each other and vocalize from. So let's listen in. Now, dolphins hold their breath while foraging for their prey, and their prey largely consists of fish, squid, and the occasional crustacean. In order to catch that fast-moving and slippery fish, they use their powerful tails to reach speeds of up to 22 miles per hour. They also use that same powerful tail to get a better look above the surface, and this allows their entire bodies to get up and out of the water. Jackie and I are just 2 of over 350 zoological professionals here at SeaWorld. Collectively, not only do we provide world-class care for these dolphins, but we've also facilitated the rescues of over 40,000 animals with the goal of rehabilitating and returning them to their natural environment.
You break it into a circle.
Well, look, he goes up and gets out of it.
Yeah. You can get up.
She's the only one that makes her bathroom comfortable.
She's doing a good job of that. Just there is the first drop of Mako that I did earlier.
These behaviors keep our whales active and engaged. SeaWorld's killer whales have inspired generations to care for our natural world, and we're excited to share their stories with all of you today. Now, our killer whales trust us, and they take an active role in their health and well-being. Some of the first behaviors we teach our whales are husbandry or healthcare behaviors. These behaviors are designed specifically to monitor each of their own health. Here in our slide out, you can see our 3 female killer whales. In just a moment, we're going to see a behavior we call a fluke present. Now, this fluke present is an important behavior because this fluke present allows us to collect a blood sample from our whales. Just like we go to the doctor, we hold our arm out very still. All of our killer whales are conditioned to roll upside down, just like you're seeing Katina here in the center, and hold that tail fluke nice and still for us and our veterinary staff. Now, if you take a look on the white underside of Katina's tail, you might be able to see a big vein that runs underneath, and that's where we collect that blood sample from. And we do this with all of our whales about once a month. Not only is that an important health diagnostic, but it is a great way for our trainers to build a relationship with our whales. Now, another important health diagnostic we got from our whales is a weight. Just like you or I might step on a scale, either at home or at the doctor's office, all of our killer whales are conditioned to slide
did this ride, Icebreaker. I was in the second to last row, which was a very good position, and you'll see why in a minute. Someone's just about to take off.
The orca show.
And we work for a company called Conservation Ambassadors. We're actually based out of California, and what it is we do at our center is we give a home to rescued wildlife. Either to animals that have been injured somehow and can't be set free back out to the wild. Those animals are sent to us at our center.
Hello everybody, this is Poppy, our Virginia opossum. It's originally an East Coast animal, but they spread all across the United States while the railroad tracks were being built. In fact, they were brought state to state as a food source. But we got Poppy here because one night a lady was driving home and she saw a cute little fur ball run across the road. And she tried her best to stop, and she accidentally hit that fur ball. She got out of her car and she saw that she had hit an opossum. However though, this lady was really, really smart. She had done her research and she was reading somewhere that opossums were a marsupial. And we know marsupials have the pouch, but what do they keep in that pouch? What do they keep in that pouch? There we go. So she got down real low. She bravely opened up that pouch, and what she found was 5 beautiful opossums. One of them being Poppy here. So she swooped them on up and she took them to the nearest rehab center where they had the best chance of getting back out in the wild. And they were doing great. They were eating, they're foraging for their own food, they're getting bigger and stronger, they start climbing, they're safe from people, except for Poppy here, who they had found out was almost completely blind. And because of that, he was not able to release back out in the wild with his siblings. However, though, he found home with us about 2 years ago. And I know 2 years, it might sound young, but they only live 3 to 4 years. But check this out. In those 3 to 4 years, a mama opossum, she'll have up to 50 babies. Yeah, if I had 50 kids, I'd probably call after 3 years too.
And he's what's known as the laughing kookaburra. And this bird here is truly famous for his voice. So they use this little bird's call in the background of every single movie that's ever had a jungle scene ever. It doesn't matter if they're showing an African, a South American, or an Asian jungle. They use the kookaburra's call, even though he's from the exact opposite climate. He's from the grasslands of Australia, but they use this voice of his because it does sound like it comes from the jungle. Do you guys want to hear it? Are you ready, buddy? Now, somebody here in the US fell in love with these birds. They found a way to purchase one online and brought one into their home. Only this person lived in an apartment complex. And see, kookaburra are known in Australia as the outback alarm clock. Because every single morning at the break of dawn, they let out that call. Let's just say the neighbors weren't such a big fan of Giggles here, which is why he was sent to us at our center.
And this beautiful bird is Whizzer, our turkey vulture. Now I know we're thinking, it's pretty gross, right? He eats dead things, but for being honest with ourselves, we all eat dead things. Nobody finds a cow to chase it down the road and chew on its leg. Only difference with Whizzer here is he can eat stuff with so much bacteria and germs, it would make us sick to our stomach. So he works perfect as nature's cleanup crew. But he's got one really weird trick to rinse off his feet when they're dirty. Do you guys want to hear it? Said you guys want to hear it? Yeah. All right. When his feet get really, really gross and nasty, to rinse them off, he pees on them. Yeah, that's why we named him Whizzer.
Now, we are going to go from beautiful to cute. This is Maya. She's about a 40-year-old spider monkey. She's been at our center for almost 30 years now. And in 1994, we got a call from LA County Sheriffs saying they found a monkey abandoned in a dumpster. Apparently somebody threw her away. And this kind of thing actually happens a lot. See, people get monkeys, they try to make them into pets, and they quickly learn why that's not such a good idea. See, monkeys are set up by nature to be the farmers of the rainforest. They are set up to eat fruits, they swallow the seeds, they squeeze those seeds out the other end in a nice little pile of fertilizer, and they do this about every 15 minutes. So as they're planting fruit trees in people's couch cushions and around the rest of their house, people get very tired of them. They are perfectly set up for life in the canopies of the rainforest. They're what's known as a brachiator, which means they hang and swing through the trees, so she's not set up like other monkeys. She doesn't have that opposable thumb on her hand. She does have one on her foot, but instead, can I see your hand here, girl? Instead, she has 4 alien-like fingers that allow her to hook onto the branches so she can swing through the trees as fast as a horse can run on land. She also has the coolest tail in the jungle. Her prehensile or grasping tail is so dexterous that she can pick up something as small as a grain of rice with the tip of her tail. And I see her use it for all sorts of stuff. She hangs by that tail, she carries food around with it, she scratches her head with it. Every once in a while I catch her picking her nose with it. I mean, it's the most amazingly useful tail I have ever seen. But when Maya first came into our center, she was not doing very well. She was fed so much of the wrong foods when she was young that she has major health issues even to this day. In fact, you might have been able to see when she was hanging from my arm, she can't even extend her legs fully. Which is a big part of why she's not able to live with other spider monkeys and why she's with us at our center.
And this is Disco, our gray fox. Now, gray fox in the wild, they only live 8 to 9 years. Disco here is 13 years old. Yeah, makes him a bit of a senior citizen, which is why we had to bring him to Florida. Now this gray fox, so he's an excellent climber. In fact, he's got some cat-like movements that he'll use to scale the trees so he can get to his diet. And he'll eat things like birds, mice, berries, grasses, carrion, just about anything you can think of. He takes care of it. He works perfect as nature's pest control.
This is Samantha. And what is she? A lemur, exactly right. But she's not just any lemur. She's what's known as a brown lemur. She gets up in the mornings and the first thing that she does is she greets every member of her lemur family. And how one lemur says hello to another lemur is kind of weird. Do you guys want to see? Are you sure you want to see? Alright, I'm going to make it sound like a pig. She's going to answer me back. Then she's going to do something rather strange. You guys really sure you want to see this? Yeah. Alright, things I do for an audience. Ready, Samantha? Did you guys see that? Yeah. First she answered my pig-like grunt, and then she licked inside my nose. You want to see if she'll do it again? Nope, I'm all clean. Now the lemurs, they get up, they greet their whole family unit, then they go off looking for food. Now for her, she doesn't want to use the ground. Where she lives, there are fossa, a jungle cat-like creature that loves to eat lemurs. There's also crocodiles by the water's edge. So when she gets around, she uses the trees. And how she gets from one tree to the next is she jumps. They're even called leaping lemurs. You guys want to see her jump? Yeah. All right, amazing jumping ability. Ready, Samantha? How's that? No, let's show them a real jump. Come here, girl. Oh, we gotta do a big jump. Oh, she's cheating. No, cheating. Let's go. Let's do a big jump. Oh, wait. She's gonna go to the bathroom. I think I'll wait till she's done. Apparently she likes an audience. I don't know. Oh, we're good to go. Let's go. Let's go, Sam. Sam, big jump. Come on, you can do it. Big jump. Whoa. You know what, though? No, not for her. That was nothing. That wasn't even a hop. But Samantha here is over 30 years old. She's a fairly old lemur, so I don't ask her to do super far jumps anymore.
All right, and this gorgeous gal is Tico, our Harris hawk. And these are one of the rare birds that hunt in packs. And they do this because they come from the harsh deserts where their food sources are very scarce. And the only way they can survive is by working together. Now we got Tico here from the Colson program, which is a program designed to take Harris hawks like herself, breed them, pair them together, then re-release them back out into the eastern deserts of Texas, where their populations have been almost completely devastated by hurricanes. Now, there's only one big problem though. Tico here, she does not work well with others. In fact, she refused to pair up. She's a bit of a diva. So they sent her on over to us. But what this bird does have is she's got excellent eyesight. In fact, she's got eyesight 6 times better than all of yours. Oh, hold on guys, we're taking a break. There we go. She's saying hello to everybody. So like I was saying, she's got eyesight 6 times better than all of yours. Probably 100 times better than mine. But what I mean by that is when she's in the sky looking like a tiny little speck, she can see a mouse all the way down at my feet. And these ridges right above her eyes, they work perfect. Just like a baseball cap, they keep that sun glow out of her face. So once she spots that mouse, she's gonna dive on down. She's gonna snatch him up with her talons. And her talons have over 500 pounds of pressure per square inch. So once she grabs her food, she is keeping it.
But my favorite animal, without question, without a doubt, is this next guest. His name is Basil, and well, check him out. Come on out here, Basil. This is my favorite animal. I trust him, he trusts me. We never ever bite each other. I know he wants to be with me. You have to know, the wild animals much rather be in nature where they truly belong. And I like to end each one of our shows with just a few easy things that we are able to do to help protect our wild friends. Things like reducing single-use plastics and recycling, or picking up garbage and keeping our environments clean. Or if you find a sick or injured animal in the wild, get it to the Wildlife Rescue Center. There are literally thousands of places set to give the animals the proper care they need to hopefully get them back out to the wild. And we thank you so much for coming and listening to our rescue tales, and enjoy the rest of your day here at SeaWorld, everybody. Thank you very much for coming.
So sadly, when I came out of the Rescue Tales show, it started raining. Everything has closed out. Like Manta is a 0-minute wait because everything's closed due to inclement weather in the area. It's not raining here at the moment, but I don't know how likely it is that anything's going to reopen. So, as you'll have seen, I just went around the Manta Aquarium. Clouds are still looking very ominous.
Calico.
No, flash of lightning there. Okay, you'll have to bear with me a little bit. Just got back to my hotel room. I just want to talk you through some things about SeaWorld. This is probably going to be a long one, but it's some information that I think is quite useful for people. I look completely out of it, so sorry about that, and I'm starting to fill up with a cold again. I've been fine all day actually. It pretty much cleared up while I was walking around. It's only in the evening I've started to fill up again. Oh well. Again, bear with me. I've written down some notes of things I just wanted to discuss. So if I keep looking down, I'm looking at the notes I've made. So the first thing was getting the Mears shuttle to SeaWorld. The service worked brilliantly. When I booked it, it told you there were what times you could choose from. So going to SeaWorld was a choice of 7, 8 or 9. Although it did warn you when you clicked on them that some parks don't allow them to actually go through the gates until the park opens, and that if the bus was turned away if you chose a time before park opening, basically they'd charge you because they'd have to take you back to your resort. So the park opened at 9, so I picked the 9 o'clock one. I didn't want to risk picking the 8 one. I didn't know how long it'd take, and if I didn't want to be charged if SeaWorld turned them away. So I actually, with my anxiety, I always arrive early. So my pickup time was 9 o'clock. I arrived outside the front of All Star Movies, which is where you get picked up. So not where the Disney transportation is, but where you get picked up by, well, where the Disney Express used to pick you up. So Mears Connect, the Sunshine Flyer, Ubers and Lyfts, they all drop you out directly in front of the check-in desks. So arrived there at 8:45, went out and there was a Mears shuttle already there. I assumed that was a Mears shuttle probably going somewhere else. That must have been an earlier one. So I kind of stood around for a little bit until I decided to ask a Disney cast member, because it was on the other side of the road and there were cars going up and down, so I really still don't know about American traffic laws. I know about like jaywalking, didn't know whether that included that on Disney property. So I decided to ask a Disney cast member. They went over and asked the driver and they were like, yep, that's your shuttle. So they were there super early. So she picked up me. She was really lovely. She was very glad that I was early. She said, I've got one more pickup to make at All Star Music. So we went next door to All Star Music. We were there by 10 to 9. She went out to check whether anyone was there. They weren't there yet. Obviously they're not going to be quite as early as me because not many people are. So we sat there and waited. She kept going out, checking around, asking people who were stood around whether they were waiting for the Mears shuttle. It got to 9:05, which is apparently when their check-in time was, and she radioed the control room saying they weren't there. She asked for the names, yeah. So then she went out and told the people, like bell services, what the names were. So they hadn't seen anyone. It got to, I think, 9:08, so only 3 minutes past the pickup time, and she decided she was going to leave without them. So she got back in the van, buckled up, and then a couple turned up. So she got back out and it was the couple she was expecting. She probably wouldn't have minded as much, but their excuse was, oh sorry, we were getting coffee. So she was not too happy. So she drove me to SeaWorld first. They were going to Universal, so we dropped off at SeaWorld first. So yeah, dropped me off at SeaWorld first. I tipped her. So not including tip, it cost me $13.50 each way. That includes tax. So it was a total of $27 for the return trip. I'll talk about the trip back on the way, at the end. But yeah, super simple getting to SeaWorld, not a problem. They drop you off sort of down the side of the car park, and there's just a walkway into the park. The refillable cup situation is that they advertise unlimited refills if you buy their souvenir cup, which is kind of just like I think it was either a blue or an orange plastic cup. It had a bit of a lid, definitely not leak proof because it had a straw coming out of it. And if you bought that for $19.99 plus tax, you could refill it have unlimited refills for the rest of the day. However, I felt that was a bit of a waste because I've already got my refillable mug from my Universal Resort, my refillable mug from my Disney Resort. I'm not even sure that I'm going to be able to take those back depending on my luggage space. So I didn't want to add another reusable cup to that list. However, I have been looking for a cup with like a sealable straw to take home, because I always have one on my bedside table that I use for water overnight and in the evenings. So I was looking for one to replace the one I've already got, because the one I've got is very worn, it needs replacing, and I thought it'd be quite nice to maybe get a Disney one. I have had my eye on a 50th anniversary cup that completely does what I want it to do. However, it was a little bit smaller than I ideally wanted. But when I was in the parks, I saw a cup with a sealable straw. So there is a SeaWorld cup. It's got like dolphin, orca, turtle, shark on it, and it's got a little sealable. It's leak proof, and actually it came in very useful because it's actually got like a little elasticated carabiner thing, so I could actually hook that onto my Loungefly bag as well. It's got like a little ice pack in the middle, so you can actually put that in the freezer and then it keeps your drink cold. So another great idea. So the 50th anniversary cup that I had a look at was $19.99, and so was that one, and that's a bit bigger, so that was more ideal for what I actually wanted for the use of it. And it came with the added bonus that SeaWorld say that if you buy any of their drinks containers, you pay for the drinks container, which was the $19.99, you could then pay $5.99 and get the unlimited refills for the day, as opposed to paying the $19.99 just for the cup that I'd probably have to throw away. $5.99 was well worth it, considering if I wanted to buy water or like a Coke or something, they were all looking at like $4.99 anyway. So worked out perfectly for me. The other thing I wanted to note was, for most, if not all, of the rides at SeaWorld, you need to put your things in a locker. I panicked at first. I hadn't even thought about the locker situation. It makes sense considering there's a lot of roller coasters and things. When I first read about the lockers, I misunderstood and thought it was $2 for like every ride you'd want to go on, which it's not a massive amount of money, but it adds up if you want to do all the rides. However, what I keep saying Universal, what SeaWorld do offer is you pay $10 for the day, and then it gets you to create like a 7-digit code, again, which I thought was kind of odd. Normally it's 6 or 8, but anyway, you create a 7-digit code and you can actually transfer your locker between the different sets of lockers for the rides. So if you want to do all the rides, you pay $10, you go up to the station, you enter your 7-digit code and it transfers your locker over to the new bank of lockers. So my plan for the day was to prioritise doing the shows and sort of animal interactions, and obviously my penguin up close tour, and kind of fit the rides in around that. However, I didn't realise how many shows SeaWorld has. There's a lot of them. So first thing this morning, by the time I arrived and kind of got my bearings, SeaWorld don't offer park maps except on the app, which was, I prefer having a paper one rather than constantly having to get my phone out. But anyway, by the time I got my bearings, the parks are very complicated at the moment. I think normally it'd be simpler, but they've got sections of the park blocked off for they're setting up their Howlo Scream, like the Halloween nights. So certain pathways are blocked off and you can't get through them. So you kind of got to go like in a big loop around the park. So that's a little bit frustrating. So yeah, first thing, obviously, as you'll have seen, I went on Mako. That's where I bought the locker. I then did my penguin up close tour, which was just fabulous. There were 14 of us on the tour, so they split us roughly in half because of the way the parties were. So there was a group of 8 and a group of 6. So I was part of the group of 6. I was with a family of 3 and another couple. We did sort of like the information first, as you'll have seen, and then the penguin encounter, and so the groups switched between the two. Just to say, the penguins, it's completely optional for the penguin whether they want to interact with humans. There wasn't any reward for the penguin for doing it. Because they don't know who's going to choose to interact with humans, they can't hold back some of their food to use it as rewards. And obviously they've got to have the right balance of diet. So literally the only reward for the penguin is, I don't know, curiosity. So the first group apparently had gone into the little section where you meet the penguin, and 7, the baby king penguin, had literally just sort of toddled up and decided that they wanted to interact. So that was the one that was, well, 7 chose to interact with us. Yes, baby penguin, adorable, still had all the brown downy feathers, so soft, very easily distracted, so didn't particularly make for good photos. But just wanted to preen people. It also goes after colours and dangly things and shiny things, and just so cute. They don't know, it's called 7 at the moment because they don't know whether it's male or female. Apparently there's no external way to tell with penguins. They've got to extract the genetic material from adult feathers, so they won't be able to tell until it's reached adulthood whether it's male or female, and then they'll probably assign it a name. So for now it's just King 7. But yeah, that was well worth the money. I can't remember how much it was actually, but it was just adorable. So cute. Yeah. So after that, yes, prioritised shows, fit in sort of rides and the animal encounters around it. Unfortunately, by the time I got out of the Rescue Tales show, inclement weather had hit. So that was about 5:30, and so everything shut down until I left the park at about 7:45, and everything had still not come back up. The only thing that remains open in inclement weather is restaurants, gift shops and the indoor aquariums. Everything else, the animal encounters, the shows, obviously the roller coasters, they all closed down. So I had the sort of like the express pass, I can't remember what they actually call it. That was very useful personally for me. You get like a printout sheet, and then I just folded it up. All you need is the barcode, and they scan that as you go through rides and stuff. Obviously I didn't make the most use out of it because I only got on 2 rides, Mako and Icebreaker, before everything shut down. I had planned to do more rides in the evening because that's when the shows tail off. So Mako only had a 5-minute wait anyway, so wasn't that useful, but Icebreaker I went straight to the front of a 50-minute queue. So that was very good. Icebreaker is the one where you can only use it once, because I probably would have done that twice in a row if I had been able to. But there's a restriction on that because that's the newest ride. That one I really enjoyed. So yeah, I probably would have liked to have tried some of the other rides. The water rides I wasn't bothered about. I've kind of come to the realisation I'm not a water ride person. I don't like getting wet. Damp enough because it's so hot, and it was so hot today. Everyone was struggling with the heat, so I just kind of slowly plodded around. But even the shows were so warm because there's no air conditioning in the big stadiums for the dolphin and the orca show. There's no fans, it's just outdoor seating. You're in the shade, but it's still just so warm. I also purchased with my fast pass, express pass, whatever it's called, it came with reserved seating for the shows. So that was the most useful part for me, is that I skipped, well, I could have got there much later, but I got a really decent seat in the middle, coming in late-ish, because there's just like a reserved bank of seats in the very middle of the stadium. For the dolphin one, I think I was sat slightly on the outside. That was literally because I'd literally come in about 5 minutes before the show started. So yeah, personally, it was worth it for me. I could have made better use of it though. But that was mainly because of the inclement weather. So, when the inclement weather hit, I had planned on seeing the sea lion and otter show, so I've not seen that. I haven't had a chance to, so that's a shame, because that's the sort of the third big show. Rescue Tales is kind of like a smaller one. That was actually very good because that was in air conditioning. I enjoyed that. So it's a shame I missed that show, but it was cancelled because of the inclement weather. So that show should have been on at 7. Obviously it was on earlier in the day, but I prioritised the other shows. So I am glad I prioritised the orca and the dolphins though. So I went through some of the aquariums to stay out of the inclement weather, because we did get about 20 minutes of rain. So the aquariums are a good place to go. I also went to the gift shop and bought a couple of things. So one being this little wood burnt? Is that the word for it? It's like when you laser wood into a shape. I can't remember what it's called. But either way, it's a little dolphin. It's just on a little string hanger. I just thought that was dead cute. I quite like the pans on it. Don't know whether you can see, it says SeaWorld. Anyway, it says SeaWorld on it. I think that'll either go on my bedroom door handle, or wardrobe door handle, or possibly on my pin board when I eventually put that up. The other thing I got, this is one thing I meant to mention. If you see things in the gift shop, get them. I saw two very nice Spirit jerseys on my way into the park and thought, oh, I might get those at the end of the day, one of them. And then when I went back, it wasn't even the end of the day. Like I said, this was probably about 6-ish, and both Spirit jerseys, the mediums and larges, had already sold out. An extra large is way too big for me, and I definitely can't fit into a small. So yeah, if you see things, get them, particularly clothing, because the average sizes run out fast. The other thing that surprisingly goes fast is the plushes. Everyone buys a plush at SeaWorld, including me. So to commemorate my baby penguin encounter, I know it's not a king penguin, it's an emperor penguin baby, but it is so soft. And I fell in love with it, and it's made of recycled materials. This was $19.99, and with how emotional and things I've been feeling, I've just needed something to hug. So it's a really good size, it'll just fit in my suitcase. So yeah, he came home with me. I saw him in the morning and again thought, ooh, I might get one of those when I leave. And when I came back to the gift shop, they were on the very top shelf. So when I got in first thing in the morning, they were fully stocked, so I'd been able to sort of reach up to the shelf and grab one down. When I went there at the end of the day, there was 2 left. tucked at the very back where I could not reach them. However, a family walked over and the little girl wanted one of them. So the dad tried to reach, and he was quite a tall man, could not reach them. So in the end, he picked up the little girl, sat her on his shoulders, and luckily while he was there, I asked him to grab me the other one. So there was 2 left, and I got the last one. He's so cute and so soft. So the only downside of getting the Mears shuttle was that because everything closed down, normally I would have just been able to leave. I'd have just got on my phone, got an Uber, and gone. I will say it probably would have cost a lot because everyone was doing the same thing. Everyone was getting an Uber or getting into the car and leaving. So they'd have probably put the prices up. It probably would have cost me an arm and a leg to get back. Instead, I kind of just sat around the front of the park. I sat near the gift shop, so when the rain kept threatening, I kept sort of jumping back under the cover and walking around the gift shop for a little bit. But mostly literally just sat there. I wandered around the aquariums a couple of times again. But other than that, sat there for about an hour and a half. I was a little bit worried about getting the shuttle back, just because I felt if something went wrong in terms of the Mears shuttle getting stuck in traffic, or, well, particularly getting stuck in traffic because of the inclement weather, that they would probably phone me, and obviously I have no phone number. The phone number I put on the Mears shuttle form was actually the hotel resort number, because I asked at the hotel resort at the check-in desk, and they suggested I do that. However, as usual, I was worrying about nothing. I waited until 7:45. My shuttle time to come home was 8:10. So I left the park at 7:45 just in case Mears were going to send me an email or something. Because I wasn't sure whether the Wi-Fi would extend out into the car park. I didn't actually check, it probably doesn't. But when I got to the bus stop, there was already a Mears shuttle there. So I went straight over, said, "Are you the 8:10?" And he was like, "Yep, and you're the only passenger." So jumped into the shuttle, had the shuttle completely to myself, and he dropped me off at All Star Movies. I was back in the lobby by 8:10, which was the time I was supposed to be leaving SeaWorld. So again, absolutely wonderful service, couldn't recommend it enough. The only downside is you're stuck to those times that you choose. So that resulted in me sitting around for an hour and a half, but considering an Uber probably would have cost me double if not triple the price because of the inclement weather. So yeah, I had a wonderful day at SeaWorld. Tomorrow I should be in the Magic Kingdom all day. Whether I'll last that long, I don't know. I think my plan is possibly to leave halfway through the day and try and do Harmonious in the evening, because I still haven't done Harmonious and I don't want to leave it to the end of my trip in case it's cancelled because of weather. So I think I'm going to try and do that tomorrow night. So I don't know whether I'll go to the park first thing in the morning, just because I don't know how tired I'll be in the morning. I'll have to be up to book Genie Plus and stuff anyway. We'll see. So join me back tomorrow for Magic Kingdom Day. I'll see you then. Bye.